Hey everyone, what if I told you that most Australians aren't actually struggling financially just because they don't earn enough? I know, it sounds a bit crazy, but the truth is, financial struggles often stem from really small, seemingly harmless money mistakes, stuff we repeat every single week without even thinking about it. And these little slip ups, they quietly drain hundreds or honestly even thousands of dollars every single year. The absolute worst part is that most people don't even realize they're doing it. So, in this explainer, we're going to break down the 10 biggest financial pitfalls for Australians, and way more importantly, how you can actually avoid them to keep more of your hard-earned cash. So, are you struggling financially despite earning a decent income? Let's really dive into this because it is a trap so many of us fall into. We constantly tell ourselves, man, if I just got a raise or if I could just find a higher paying job, all my money stress would just poof, disappear. But a lot of the time, the problem isn't the size of the paycheck at all. It's what happens to that money the second it hits your bank account. We literally need to flip our mindset from I need to earn more to I need to protect and manage what I already have. All right, so here is our roadmap for this explainer. First, we'll look at the hidden money leaks. Second, debt and safety nets. Third, supercharging your wealth. And finally, we're going to dismantle the perfect time myth. Okay, section 1, the hidden money leaks. Let's plug those daily cash drains. Our very first major mistake is living without a budget. So many of us know exactly what we earn, down to the literal cent, but we have absolutely no clue where that money actually goes. Think about it. Daily coffees, hitting up food delivery apps, streaming subscriptions you forgot you even had, or just impulse buying stuff online. Now, on a random Tuesday afternoon, grabbing a coffee or adding one more streaming service doesn't feel like a huge deal. But if you zoom out and look at the whole year, these little expenses are eating up a massive slice of your income. It's like death by a thousand cuts, adding up to thousands of dollars. And look, setting up a simple monthly budget doesn't mean you have to give up all the fun stuff. It just means you're finally the one in the driver's seat of your spending. Which brings us to a really great point. Smart shoppers don't always earn more. They simply spend more wisely. This leads right into mistake number 2, which is paying full price for everything. Seriously, before you hit checkout, whether you're at the shops or browsing online, there are massive savings just sitting there waiting for you. Are you comparing prices? Are you checking for cashback offers, reward programs, or grabbing those supermarket specials? Here's a pro tip for avoiding impulse buys. Just wait. Give it a day or two before buying something you don't strictly need. You would be totally amazed at how often that desperate must-have feeling just completely vanishes after 48 hours. Now, let's talk about mistake number 5, lifestyle inflation. It goes like this. You get a promotion, a bonus, maybe a shiny new job, and your income goes up. Awesome, right? But almost immediately, your spending goes right up with it. Instead of stashing that extra cash, you upgrade to the newest phone, move into a pricier rental, or book a crazy luxury holiday. So here's the absolute crucial takeaway. Building wealth does not solely depend on how much you earn. It depends entirely on how much of that money you actually keep. If your spendings always rise to match your income, you are going to be stuck on the treadmill forever. Moving on to section 2, debt and safety nets. Time to protect your finances. Let's circle back to mistake number 3, ignoring emergency savings. Look, car repairs, surprise medical bills, or a sudden job loss, these aren't rare, one-in-a-million events. They happen to absolutely anyone, at any time. So if you don't have an emergency fund, what happens when your car suddenly breaks down? Well, you're forced to rely on credit cards or personal loans, which instantly takes a stressful situation and makes it 10 times worse. But listen, even just scraping together a tiny amount from each paycheck starts building this safety net. And that net is what catches you when disaster inevitably strikes. And closely tied to that is mistake number 4, carrying high-interest credit card debt. If you're just making those minimum repayments, sure, it might feel totally manageable month to month. But behind the scenes, your interest is ballooning. It's actively working against your ability to build wealth. By paying just a bit more than the minimum whenever you possibly can, you're chipping away at that principal balance, slashing the total interest they charge you, and drastically speeding up your journey to becoming completely debt-free. All right, section 3, supercharging your wealth. Let's make that money work for you. Okay, rapid fire here. Mistake 6 is ignoring your superannuation. For a lot of Australians, super is literally their biggest long-term investment, but we almost never look at it. Check it regularly, know your options, and please make sure you aren't getting eaten alive by duplicate fees. Mistake 7, waiting too long to start investing. You do not need a mountain of cash to start. Dropping in small amounts consistently over time is way more powerful than waiting years to save up a lump sum. Mistake 8 is leaving money on the table by not claiming every tax deduction you're legally entitled to. Get organized, keep your receipts, and definitely check the ATO guidance. Keep your own money. And mistake 9 is relying on just a single source of income. If that main job stops, things get super scary super fast. Whether it's doing some freelance work, tutoring, or selling digital products online, setting up a flexible second income is a total game changer for your financial security. Finally, Section 4, the perfect time myth. We really need to stop waiting to start. And this brings us to mistake number 10, the perfect time myth. It's this tricky little false belief that we have to wait for the ideal moment. When work isn't so crazy, or when we finally get that next raise, or when the economy turns around. Then we'll start budgeting and investing. Well, spoiler alert, that perfect moment rarely, if ever, actually arrives. Financial success doesn't just magically happen for the people who wait around for a flawless starting line. It happens when you make smart, proactive choices consistently, day after day, starting exactly where you are right now. So, how do we actually break free from all of this? Well, here's the good news. You don't have to fix your entire financial life by tomorrow morning. Trying to do that is just overwhelming, and honestly, it's a recipe for giving up. Step 1. Just pick one single financial habit from the 10 we talked about today. Step 2. Fix that one thing this week. Draft that basic budget, log in and check those super fees, or finally cancel that streaming service you never watch. Step 3. Build from there. Once you get that first quick win, you use that momentum to roll right into fixing the next mistake. So that leaves us with one final, incredibly important thought to leave you with. Which money mistake are you going to fix today? You've got the knowledge now, you see the pitfalls clearly, and you have the roadmap in your hands. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really encourage you to take that very first step toward your own financial freedom right now.